Cowabunga! Hey gang, what's new and exciting? Your buddy Kevin Goatees here, which of course means it's time for a new episode of Gutting the Sacred Cow. This week, we've got our new friend here, Tyler Morrison, coming on to shave down a 1985 classic, Teen Wolf. You think Michael J. Fox owned 1985? You bet your ass he did. Joining me as co-host, well, you recognize this guy with that high-pitched, whiny voice. That's my pal, Bill Schulz. And he's going to sit in as co-host to hear Tyler Morrison. Before we get to it, hey, don't forget guttingthesacredcow at gmail.com, guttingthesacredcow.com to grab yourself some sweet merch. And hey, 5-star ratings, 2 and 3 sentences of review, love it. Find us on YouTube, subscribe, love that too. You're awesome. Let's see if Tyler Morrison can really shave down Teen Wolf in this episode. Remember the 5th of November. Bill Schulz, Boof Schulz, as your Zoom name has you. You're welcome. Name that film.
That would be V for Vendetta.
Oh, out of the gates strong. Boof Schulz, joined by me, of course, Kevin Goatee and Tyler Morrison. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Welcome to a brand new episode of Gutting the Sacred Cow. We're calling this episode Tyler Morrison Gives Teen Wolf Rabies. Welcome to, again, Gutting the Sacred Cow, the best movie review / movie debate podcast out there. I, of course, your host, Bill Schulz, co-host, who co-hosted so many damn times, of course, of Morning on Compound. How are you, my friend?
Thanks so much for having me, buddy.
Tyler Morrison joining us from the Great White North. Tyler, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Yeah, it's great to be on, and this should be fun.
It's going to be fun. So here we are. Tyler has chosen a film that I kind of was a little reluctant to let some people do for a long time. Tyler has chosen the 1985 classic, and we'll see if that stays in quotes for long or not, Teen Wolf, 1985. Only, by the way, released a scant few weeks after Back to the Future. So Michael J. Fox owned the summer of 85.
Oh, my God.
The Fox office. That's what they should have called it.
Hey-o. If it would have bombed, he would have had to go into the Fox hole. Yeah. We'll do puns all day, goddammit.
Yeah, we will.
A budget in 1985 of $1.2 million. A box office haul of $33 million. Turn that into 2022 money. A budget of $2.6 million. A gross of $87.3 million.
That's so wild. Such an overachiever.
I mean, a lot of money for and you can see where the money didn't go into. Special effects.
Everything.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, maybe the catering table was something delightful.
Basketball.
A net. Let's talk more numbers. IMDb, folks, as we know, is a scale 1 through 10 with decimal points. I'm going to go to my guest, Tyler Morrison, first. Tyler, what do you think that this film scored on IMDb? 1 through 10 with decimal points.
1 through 10. I want to say it probably got a 6.
6 flat. Bill Schulz.
I'll one up that, as we all know, it's American classic. 7.
Tyler Morrison is the winner of 2 showcases. 6.1.
There we go.
Yeah,
I mean, I think a lot of people enjoyed it. It has there's a fun appeal to it, but there's definitely some holes.
Let's find out how fond of appeal the critics' Rotten Tomato score is. 1 through 100. Bill Schulz, you need no intro to this game. What number did the critics give this?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to stay with the 6 theme and say 60% favorable.
60% critics. And you, Tyler Morrison, what do you think they gave this?
I think they probably gave it 37%.
Tyler Morrison for the win. It is 42%. All right, back to you, Tyler. What did the...
I would have gotten that right if I'd wolfed out beforehand.
We're only a scant few minutes in. Don't think you can't. Tyler, what did the audience give this score?
Oh, I bet you the audience gave it like an 8 out of 10. I bet you audiences...
This is 1 through 100, sir. 1 through 100.
Oh, sorry, 1 through 100? Yeah,
yeah.
I bet you, you know what? Let's go with 75.
75. Bill Schulz.
I'll go one up again, 80.
How about 52?
Ooh,
What? Is
that's
this a classic?
surprising. Yeah.
This is this apparently I didn't look, to be completely honest with you fellas, but I'm wondering if this movie got reviewed a lot after the fact.
You got to be right. Like, I always thought 50% was good in high school, but it turns out it's still a fail.
Right. 50% from the 3-point line is fantastic, but and in baseball. Quotes: I got a bad outside hook shot. I'm allergic to eggs. I got a $6 haircut. I mean, I have problems. I don't need this one. Right? And of course, well, two more and then I'll tee it up. Give me a keg of beer. I always thought it was I want a keg of beer, and now I'm corrected.
And these.
And of course, another one under the radar. Shoot it, fat boy.
No
yes.
fat shaming back then.
Don't we all miss the 80s and 90s when you can make fun of fat kids playing gym?
Oh, that's just the beginning. Remember when Styles thinks that Michael J. Fox?
Very much so. Oh, I know we're gonna. And of course, one of my all-time, I gotta say, it's probably top 50 for sure, maybe even top 25. There are 3 rules I live by: never get less than 12 hours sleep.
I had that one.
Never play cards with a guy who's the same first name as a city, and never get involved with a woman of a tattoo and her dagger of a dagger on her body. Now you stick to that, and everything else is cream cheese. Bill Schulz, is there any meat left on the bone?
Well, one of the underrated stars in this opus was, of course, Pamela, the 45-year-old sophomore in the movie, and also the femme fatale. And she has one of probably the most underrated line, which was, "I thought wolves weren't supposed to be shy." Now, I missed that Mutual of Omaha thing about wolves and shyness, but I always loved that line. And then I always liked Michael J. Fox sort of looking at Boof and itching. He's like, "Boof, look at me objectively. Do you think there's anything wrong with me?" And then Boof goes, "You should probably shower after practice." "I do." "Then no, nothing's wrong with you."
Oh,
it's a brain buster.
I can't wait to see that bust that out in real life at the bar.
Objectively, do you think there's anything wrong with me? I always maintain Michael J. Fox got half those underage roles because he constantly sounds like his voice is changing. But he looks younger than most of them. So there it is.
How about you, Tyler? Any quotes from you jump out of this puppy?
My favorite is the Michael J. Fox trash talk in the basketball game. I think that's 4 fouls. Make 1 more, and you're out of there.
We will delve into that. I have no doubt about it. 5 fun facts. Yes, even with 2 weeks of basketball coaching, Michael J. Fox wasn't a gifted athlete. Loyola Marymount sophomore basketball player Jeff Glosser was much better, so he was hired as Fox's hoops double. Number 2, you know it was going to take long for any of us to get to this one, so it might as well be me. Nobody involved with the production noticed the basketball game attendee who briefly exposed himself until it was mentioned on VH1 several decades later. You mean to tell me no one was in the editing bay and goes, "You know what? That looks like a dick."
I did not see this.
You know that's been disproven.
We'll get in that later, but we'll get to that later. Number 3, it turns there's nothing teen about the cast of Teen Wolf. At the time of filming, Michael J. Fox was 23. Styles, Jerry Levine, 27. Chubby, Mark Holton, 26. And the film's tough-as-nails villain, was he? Mick, played by Mark Arnold, 27 years old.
Looks 40.
10 years after one graduates high school.
They all look like they were in that It's Never Too Late league, for 50-year-olds. They all get together in New York and play basketball. Like, that's who the Dragons look like, that the Beavers were playing.
Fucking 3 out of these 4 guys could rent a car legally.
Yeah, no one should have had a problem getting a keg of beer.
Chubbs especially. Chubbs looks way older. He's a bit younger than the other 2 guys that are at the top of the pack, but Chubbs looks like he's a hard 45.
You guys, you're burying the lead. Chubbs was a starter.
Yeah. By the one
and a closer.
Yeah. Number 4, the block of houses where Michael J. Fox's character Scott lives on the same block as George and Lorraine's houses in Back to the Future.
Oh, that tracks, because I heard Michael J. Fox say a story about when Eric Stoltz was still cast, and they were already like doing locations for Back to the Future while he was on Teen Wolf, and he kept thinking that he wished he was in that movie, which is amazing. And so that makes sense because they were right nearby.
Michael J. Fox, fun fact number 5. Michael J. Fox disliked this film so much that he refused to return for the sequel. In an interview at the time while Back to the Future was in production, he lamented, "Steven Spielberg's down the street making great movies and I'm playing a werewolf."
There it is. Yeah.
Way to go, Schulz. You stole the...
I didn't know. There's so many fun facts.
I know. Let's go to where we have our fans and friends and everybody want to ask the questions. Here you go, Tyler Morrison. It's time to ask a gutter. At Newark Night, good old Brandon Oglesby. Does Teen Wolf ever feel like a horror movie, or is it just a supernatural comedy?
It definitely feels like a supernatural comedy. I don't think there's really anything too scary about it. I watched it with my kids last week about 5 times while they were sick. They just wanted to keep watching it, but they weren't too scared of it. I think the scene where he first becomes a werewolf, if for like little kids, it would be scary, but for like adults, it's not at all. There really isn't anything too terrifying about it. Maybe when he rips Mick's shirt on the dance floor and like gets a little bit extra aggressive as a wolf, that maybe it's kind of scary for younger people, but I mean, for us, it's not like a regular horror movie at all.
Yeah, the only
Go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
scary is Michael J. Fox's foul shots and how much he sweats. He sweats so much, it is distracting.
Maybe he was doing his best Patrick Ewing impression.
That's torrential rainpour. That is horrible.
That was monsoon season. At Carly, that's not it. At Pedestrian, Teen Wolf has basically cursed us forever. And perfect for the holiday season. Actually, that's for everything else. Okay, never mind that. Next one, at your favorite movie, at your next favorite movie pod, does he also hate Teen Wolf 2 as well? Because then, and only then, we have a problem.
Well, then we got a problem, because I hate Teen Wolf 2 way more than I hate Teen Wolf 1. But Teen Wolf, the original, is kind of like, you know, when there's like a shitty kid, it can't really, like, Teen Wolf 2 is the shitty kid of Teen Wolf 1. It can't help itself. So you got to blame the parent for setting up this whole establishment.
That movie was so bad that they recast not just Coach Finstock, but Styles. And the guy that played Styles was like an Arabian guy with a mullet. The whole thing is unreal.
It's offside. Teen Wolf 2 is completely out to lunch, and it's like it's way more aggressive with like the violence of the boxing too, and it's Jason Bateman playing the wolf. I guess he plays his cousin because Michael wasn't coming back, and
that's why it's TOO.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And,
Fun fact.
It sets up a weird, like, I don't want to say parallel between Michael J. Fox and Jason Bateman, but there's definitely connections there because of family ties. And Justine Bateman plays his sister on the show. And then you got Jason Bateman,
of course,
in the sequel.
Jesus Christ, are we going to dovetail into Teen Wolf 2? No, we're fucking not.
Hey, I have one.
Just wait.
I'm sure.
I got something to say. And then Marty McFly, the biggest character that Michael J. Fox played. What's Jason Bateman's biggest character? Marty Bird. 2 Martys. There's something fucking rotten.
Wow, that's a nickel's worth of free research right there. I did. Real fun fact. 11-year-old Kevin saw Teen Wolf 2 in the theater, and even 11-year-old Kevin, who's of course taste of, you know what? I'm going to say this: movies that I've seen as a kid, I am still like 80% of the time I am right. Like that film was great and it's still great, or that film sucked and it sucked. 11-year-old Kevin walked out of the theater and go, "God damn, that was terrible." And my dad hated me for making me go see that film because this sucked. You're right.
This is how bad Teen Wolf 2 is. They have a montage in that movie. It is a studying montage. The movie's about boxing, and the montage is about him cramming for a test with the song "Send Me an Angel" by Real Life playing, which is way more effective in other movies like Rad. The BMX movie, and of course Wizard. They even use it in a better way in Wizard, but they totally It's out to lunch. The whole movie's insane.
By the way, Rad is an egregious piece of shit. I didn't see that until a couple of years ago. It fucking stinks. It is
favorite movie of all time. Fuck
well,
you.
then guess what? Time to raise the stake. But they didn't even pretend to make Lori Loughlin's stunt double look like a fucking chick. It's
Eddie Viola.
Dude, right? It's a dude with the worst wig. That movie eats asshole. I don't know why people love it so much. Again,
I'll come back on and defend Rad. I know a lot about that movie.
Wrong podcast.
I'll make the last Jason Bateman reference. I forget the celebrity that was doing the interview, but it was an A-lister. So for the purposes of this story, let's say it's George Clooney. So George Clooney's doing an interview, or he's at one of Michael J. Fox's, what has he got? Multiple sclerosis charity events,
Parkinson's.
Right? Parkinson's. Same difference. Come on, it's in the family. And Jason Bateman's there, and he's one of the other guys that's doing the charity for Michael J. Fox. Jason Bateman goes up to George Clooney and goes, "Bet you never thought you'd be in the same room as both Teen Wolves, did you?"
Well played.
Jason Bateman is assassin level funny. He's really good.
He's good. Some of his script selections, like Bad Words, not so good.
You know what? I liked the idea. I liked the big swing in that movie, but it wasn't great. You're right.
Yeah. At They Call This a Movie, we've had basketball and boxing. What other sport would you want to see a Teen Wolf compete in?
Great question.
That is a good question.
I'll go first. Dogfighting. You can't get as mad at Michael Vick if he owned Michael J. Fox. Because he's half human.
I have one. Hunting the homeless.
It is the most dangerous game.
Yes, it is.
That's a good question. I mean, hockey. I want to see Teen Wolf in hockey. See what kind of damage he does on the ice.
How about
Teen Wolf versus the Mighty Ducks?
That would be great.
What a crossover. Teen Wolf curling. Really keep the Canadian theme there from Michael J. Fox. Bring him back in the mix.
And they drink a lot when they curl, so give me a keg of beer would be the whole episode, basically, or the whole movie.
At Taco Shirt Krillin for Tyler, who you got in a game of one-on-one? Teen Wolf or Air Bud?
I mean, Teen Wolf's going to chomp Air Bud.
Although
not this Teen Wolf.
Now, but see, this is where we're in an uncanny valley. A dog playing basketball? Questionable. Werewolves existing? Pretty much can be conclusively that they don't. So therefore, Air Bud does have like the fact that Air Bud is based on in reality. You might have a chance there because what is he playing?
I'd rather watch Air Bud than I would rather watch the WNBA, but I just have taste.
How dare you? How dare you? Some of the players are hairier.
Leaping Lizards, Team Wolf looks terrible. Would you fuck a werewolf from at Lord Snurts?
Isn't that a question for Pamela? And the answer is yes.
And Boof. Would you fuck a werewolf, Tyler?
Boof preferred the real Michael, not the werewolf Michael.
No, I'm not really into the Bulgarian women shot put.
or not Italian women either.
No,
it's funny because it's true. I'm married to half Italian. Tyler, will you avoid the tasteless but necessary Michael J. Fox went from a Teen Wolf to an adult Chihuahua joke in your gutting at Haywood, you blow me?
Sorry, I missed that one.
He asked, will you avoid the tasteless but necessary Michael J. Fox went from a Teen Wolf to an adult Chihuahua?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll avoid that.
On the basis of it just not being funny?
Yeah, that's okay.
Also, it's easy to avoid something you never would have thought of.
Right?
Initially, yeah.
Listen, I appreciate the question at Haywood, you blow me, but back to the drawing.
That's a great name, though. Haywood, you blow me is a good name.
My other favorite one, Dick Gazinia.
That's good. I haven't heard that one yet.
No? All right. And that's going to wrap it to Ask a Gutter. So, Bill Schulz, let's let Tyler Morrison come down, get some rabies in Michael J. Fox as he's going to try and give Teen Wolf the rabies. And it's time to gut the sacred cow.
Okay.
Tyler, before you go, I'm getting a little hot. If you don't mind, I'm just going to take this.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
All right.
Love the shades, Bill. For those of you who are not listening, Bill just took
Teen
his
Wolf's
shirt off.
cool. Bill Boof Schulz is kind of the outcast. But
Bill just took his shirt off for all you listeners, and he's wearing a Scott Howard Beavers jersey.
let's not overlook the fact that it's number 42, guys.
Yeah,
that is
Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson is beaming from heaven. So, Tyler Morrison, take it away.
Okay, so really, I think we covered a lot of the points already that I was going to go over, but I will go through some more points and maybe back over a couple of these. I thought Teen Wolf, it is a fun movie if you're younger or kid. Well, it's just fun in general, but there's a lot of things done wrong. Poor special effects. It looks pretty cheesy, especially the dad. Scott Howard's dad. It looks really cool. He doesn't even look like a wolf. He looks like a fucking hamster.
He looks like a munchie. Like there was nothing foreboding about it.
He looks like Peter. He looks like Peter Jackson if he didn't dye his hair and beard.
Yeah, and the principal totally looks like he could kick his ass. You think the principal's gonna piss himself looking at that? He looks what he looks like.
Yeah, he's like Scott. We're a family of Ewoks.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of like one of the weaker points of the movie, just like that sort of sideline. Obviously, he has to have the heritage or something. It comes down that lineage. The one thing that pisses me off a lot about the movie is just how dirty Mick got done. Like, I love Mick. He's a good bad guy, but Mick was actually probably should have been the protagonist if you look at it. This guy is a winner. He's an all-American basketball player. He's really good at basketball. He has a smoking hot blonde girlfriend. He's the dude from the other school that's coming over and railing the hottest chick at that school. He's a winner. But Michael J. Fox, despite having a beautiful girl who's totally into him, Boof, which is a weird fucking name that they don't address any other name. If you Google it, she does have a name online, but in the movie it's just Boof, which I've never heard that name anywhere else before. But Boof was a piece, and Boof was totally into Jay Fox. She was like the classic beautiful girl next door that's adores him and wants to do anything for him, and he just blows her off the entire time because Michael J. Fox is actually a pussy hound who'll do nothing. He'll stop at nothing. He just wants to fuck Mick's girlfriend so bad, and he'll use his superpowers to win her, over and bang her. He's cheating. His superpowers, I think, are an analogy for steroids. This guy could not have banged that chick without that, and he could not have made it to the finals in basketball, which is also horseshit. Okay.
Wait, hold on one second. I think you're touching on a great point, because this is the true superhero power that every dude wants, and that is the ability to pick up the smoke show and bang her and be able to do worldly things while playing sports. Flying is awesome. I'm not going to knock flying. My non-banging superpower would be the ability to have X-ray vision, so I could look through cards and count in Vegas and just make my living off blackjack and poker. But that's that.
Yeah. So no, I agree, and I think Mick gets totally hung out to dry here. He's one of the only people that finds it weird, first of all, that this guy's a werewolf. Everyone else acts cool about it, pretty much, other than the principal and the Lewis, the friend, the he's out with Styles and Jay Fox. They have when he first turns into the wolf, there's people that are a little bit, weirded out, but then they all come around. It's like, oh yeah, this guy's a werewolf. Let's party. But Mick is one of the only people that sees through this. And so he gets made into the villain. Really, he's just standing up for himself and trying to maintain his relationship that he's cultivated. You see them at the bowling alley. Michael J. Fox is just rubbing it in. He's grinding up on Mick's girl right in front of him, getting all cocky. I mean, Jay Fox is way too cocky once he had that wolf power, because without it, he is nothing. He is nothing. And he got real lucky that he even made it to the finals. There's no way the Beavers would have been in the finals with that bum squad. Sorry, Chubbs. There's no way you're in the starting lineup. Your hook shot be damned.
Michael J. Fox looks like if Michael J. Fox
you're dunking his donuts, Chubbs.
Yeah, he looks like if Michael Cera got superpowers, that's what would happen in this film. Who's a bigger pussy werewolf? The werewolves in the Twilight series or Michael J. Fox in this film?
Ooh, I mean, Twilight werewolves are the pussies compared to J. Fox. J Fox crushing that can of beer with his teeth and partying. That's and doing the whole surfing USA. That's way cooler than the Twilight Wolves. I still gotta give J Fox a leg up here.
The only thing missing from that scene would be like a Spuds McKenzie on a skateboard just going through the scene, going through that shot.
Yeah.
Or Lori Loughlin in Rad.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good call. Continue, sir.
So he gets to the final game. Michael J. Fox decides to play it straight, and he doesn't wolf up. Well, first of all, you're setting your team up for, obviously we've seen the movie, spoiler alert, that, they win the game. But I
forgot that part!
What? Yeah. He shouldn't be allowed to they shouldn't even be in the finals. He's used, I don't know, it should be an asterisk.
like the Roger Maris
to steroids? Is that what you're doing, sir?
Absolutely, I am.
Actually, it's a valid point.
You grow a lot of extra hair when you have steroids too. So, and so he plays it straight. It's like, oh, now you made the decision in the finals to play it straight. Well, what'd you do the entire season when you fucked over all these other teams who should have had a shot at this? And Mick, who's worked so hard to get the Dragons to the finals, Michael, you're going to come in and piss all over his parade? Not cool. This guy's been in high school for about 15 years, and you're not going to let him win? This is bullshit. All right? So, I don't know, man. That's kind of where I'm at. And they totally rode the coattails of Back to the Future in the box office. And, good for them. It makes sense to do that. But I think we wouldn't even know about Teen Wolf if it wasn't for Back to the Future.
I got to give them credit. They were essentially an independent movie studio, and they wrapped a long time before Back to the Future. There was 2 weeks where Michael J. Fox was filming both.
And Family Ties.
And yeah, oh my God, the hardest working guy in show business.
Meredith Baxter was it Meredith Baxter?
Yeah, she was pregnant. Yeah,
she got pregnant, so he was able to take a couple weeks to shoot it. Yeah,
right. But they did a very brilliant thing, which was they knew that this was being produced by Spielberg, and they're like, this is going to be huge. So their initial time they were going to be released, they canceled it, and they waited for 3 weeks after Back to the Future, even though he had filmed it way before, and they knew that they were going to ride on that coattail, and it worked brilliantly.
So
it was one of the top 25 best or most highest-grossing movies of the year.
Super smart move by those guys, and you do got to give it up to them. And I think maybe that's why Michael J. Fox partially resents it, because he probably shot it when he needed the money, or
without a doubt.
Or you know what I mean? And then Back to the Future is about to blow up, and he has this movie that he's not proud of writing.
It's like if Stallone's softcore, or not even softcore, the porn that Stallone did years before Rocky, they held on to it because they knew that boxing movie was going to be money.
Oh my! Exactly. If you would have dropped that between Rocky 1 and 2 and Rambo First Blood, that would have been a major timer right there.
Second Blood.
Soul in Hollywood.
Yeah. What other notes you have, Tyler?
That was pretty much it. We kind of went through it. I just thought, the whole Pamela was like the hot blonde versus Boof, who is the girl next door thing. I thought that was a pretty, obvious, regular. It's been done a million times. The guy's looking way older. Styles. I mean, I thought Styles looked pretty old in that movie for sure. And,
oh my God, yeah.
Give me the Styles for green track pants, though. Good man.
Tyler, give me a number 1 to 10. What your thoughts on this film are?
Oh my God, 1 to 10. How would I?
Yeah,
rate
your
it?
opinion. 1 to 10. What do you think of this? Love it 10, hate it 1.
I've been trashing it the whole time.
But
no, I will give it a. I got to give it a 6.
Wow,
that's actually not bad for someone that's on the trash. I mean, it's not great, but
I mean, listen, like there's a lot of flaws in the movie, but it also does have some fun stuff, and I do, recognizing the underdog story and what they did, and I also like that Michael J. Fox doesn't like it. That kind of makes me laugh. I love that that they villained their way to number 2 at the box office.
Oh, by the way, little bonus, we got a little side boob for a PG film, right, guys? That was a nice little 13th. That was a baker dozen right there.
There is no way this should have been rated PG.
Very true.
PG-13 existed back then. You've got they not like
PG-13 was no. PG-13 was out in 1985. The first film was Red Dawn, 1984. PG-13 was out. Right, but Red Dawn came out in 84. Red Dawn was the first PG-13 film.
One thing I got to give...
PG-13 existed. This should have been at least PG-13.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, you got weed, although I guarantee you, Styles was not into weed. Styles, if you were to look up cocaine in the dictionary, you would see a picture of Styles doing this. If this was an R-rated Teen Wolf, he would have had him smell out his brother's stash bead cocaine. But I'm sure they had to do that. But like, you got kids street surfing on the Wolfmobile. Like, a big part of the rating system is not discouraging kids from duplicating what their heroes are doing on screen.
Like smoking.
How many kids died trying to do that after Teen Wolf? It was a PG, and that party was right out of Eyes Wide Shut. That high school. Yeah. It was fucking ridiculous. Like, I can't believe that there was a PG.
So I got to give some props to Styles, first of all, for running the floor at that party. He's totally commanding that party. That's pretty deadly. And also props to Styles on his T-shirts. All those catchphrases. What are you looking at, Dick?
You mean this T-shirt?
Yes.
There you go.
I almost ruined it.
No, I know you did. I'm wearing for all you listeners, I'm wearing the What Are You Looking At Dick Nose T-shirt. And I gave one as a gift to my friend Bill Schulz.
By the way, Tyler, this is, you know how girls will call each other to make sure they're not wearing the same thing? We literally did that.
Yeah, that's great.
He goes, I want to wear the Dick Nose shirt. I said, I don't have that. I said, you wear the jersey, I'll wear the Dick Nose shirt.
That's awesome.
All right, so 6 out of time. Bill Schulz, you're champing at the bit. Let's hear it.
I love the fact any movie that could be that much of a hit and you cannot even categorize it, as we discussed at the beginning. Supernatural comedy, definitely not a horror movie, but all because of the cast. And of course, it starts with Michael J. Fox, who, as we've also already mentioned, not only on the 80s, but 85 was his, Ted Williams' 1947 year, really. Yeah. And Robert Altman, and yes, I'm comparing one of the greatest directors of all time to Teen Wolf, once was asked, what makes a great director? And he said, casting. The dude, whose name escapes me, who plays Styles, is
Jerry.
All right, first name Jerry. He looks like a Jerry.
Jerry Levine.
Weirdly, even though this is filmed in California, has a New York accent, but Styles just fucking eats up the scene. It's hard to it's hard to steal a scene from Michael J. Fox. I mean, he really was our Buster Keaton, as has been compared to his performance in Back to the Future versus Eric Stoltz's. But he steals scenes from Michael J. Fox. He is perfectly cast. He would absolutely be cast as gay were they to remake this today. He seemed like omnisexual, at least with regards to wardrobe choices. The fact that he would host the sex party, but never seemed to really participate, nor really have a girlfriend. He had what looked to be a shopping buddy that dressed a little bit like Madonna, but we weren't sure that they were actually we weren't sure they were boyfriend and girlfriend. All of his pants were very tight.
Are you insinuating he's going to pull a Banky from Chasing Amy and want to have a threesome with Ben Affleck and Joey Lauren Adams? But with Michael J. Fox?
If this was PG-13 and or R, yes.
Okay,
I am
fair enough.
insinuating that as much.
He makes his way into the basketball locker room afterwards pretty quickly, too.
Yes, he does.
Looking for lemonade.
And Coach Finstock is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, basketball coaches of all time. And I'm looking at you, Red Auerbach. I'm looking at you, Phil Jackson.
And Gene Hackman and Hoosiers smoked.
Oh, fuck you, Gene. You got nothing on a man that eats hard-boiled eggs during a game. During a fucking game!
And wants to quit. And wants to quit in the middle of the first game. They're so bad.
Chews gum constantly. Comes up with the little Beaumonts like that Kevin Gauthier gave at the beginning. He is just awesome in the movie. Should have had a spin-off sitcom. dunking it with Coach Finstock or something. We can workshop it. But
do you guys remember? Do you guys remember
phenomenal.
Do you remember there was a Teen Wolf cartoon on
Yes.
CBS?
Yes, I do.
Saturday mornings. I watched it along with the Back to the Future cartoon.
I will give you guys. I felt that my role here is less fun facts. That's all Kev's joint, and more just a quick quiz. I'll give you guys a quick quiz that involves that you've spoiled for one of the options, but I'll do it anyway. Guys, which of the following Teen Wolf franchises / spin-offs did not happen? I repeat, did not happen. A direct-to-video Teen Wolf 3 starring Alyssa Milano as a female werewolf. B, a film set within the same high school monster universe titled Teen Witch. Or C, and you've made this a lot easier, Kev, a Teen Wolf cartoon.
Oh, well, I know the Robin Witch because I remember seeing that in the TV guide. I go, what the hell is this? So choice B is out as well. It's A.
Yeah.
A is correct, but not really. They approached Alyssa Milano for Teen Wolf 3, and it never got off the ground.
No kidding.
So and I actually used to work at Lad magazines, and that being Maxim and stuff, and Alyssa Milano was always our number one seller because guys like girls they grew up with, and now they're in bikinis. Alyssa Milano became such a pro at these cover shoots that she would just not even wax. And she just didn't give a shit, which was what I kind of liked about her. And like the what do they call it? The little road to happiness, the little bit of
the treasure troll trail. I call it.
Thank you. I shit you not, because she knew we were going to airbrush. Hers started at the beginning of her boobs and went all the way down, and her forearms gave Tony Soprano a run for their money.
Oh, the Italian is strong in that one.
So what I'm saying, great casting for Teen Wolf 3.
That I guess. Listen, did she wax or not wax for Embrace of the Vampire? That's what I want to know.
That I mean, my criticisms might be that there was a weird pro-Confederacy thing going on. Remember the play that he was going for? Scott Howard was cast as the bad guy in a play where she's playing a Confederate widow or bride, and he's the bad guy as a Union officer, and he has them burn the plantation, and she wants the plantation saved. Like, there's this weird pro-Confederacy play that they're having in the movie. A little odd. We're not really sure what the message is. Be yourself. Well, he is a Teen Wolf. Like, why is he hiding his powers, awesome powers that his dad said to calm him down after first knocking on the door? And it's that whole allusion to masturbation scene when he's first wolfing out, finds out his dad's an Ewok. That he's like, you're going to be able to do a lot of things the other kids aren't going to do. Well, the minute his son starts doing those things that other kids can't do is the minute his dad starts condemning him. A lot of mixed messages. And again, you can make you could say that there's a whole metaphor for civil rights in sports with the whole number 42 thing, but I'm not going to go there because it's a very tricky road. And I guarantee if they remade it now, Scott Howard would not be number 42.
No.
But it's but again, casting, guys. Robert Altman said it best. And Styles, Scott Howard, Boof was a delight. I can't believe she didn't at the very least go to softcore porn after this. Never heard of Pamela again, nor the 82-year-old Mick as well. But it was not without its flaws. But Michael J. Fox was sort of my Fonzie. I was growing up, and this movie could do no wrong. Hence me paying way too much for this.
Excellent.
Great jersey.
Bill, give me a number 1 to 10.
It's a 15.
Staying right on brand. I love you. These notes brought to you by guttingthesacredcow.com, where you can pick up yourself a sweet-ass shirt if you want to advertise with us, guttingthesacredcow@gmail.com, and leave us a 5-star rating on your podcast platform of choice. That helps us in the algorithm. Before I get to my notes, boys, why don't you drop your plugs in here, because no one ever listens to the end of the podcast, so I don't make sure you guys get your promotions. Tyler, I'll start off with you, being you're the guest.
Sure, yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at TylerMorrison1 and on Instagram, TylerMorrison123, TylerMorrison.ca. I'm in Canada, so check out my website for upcoming shows. And you can see me on the Ric Flair roast that is available through Fight TV.
Wow. I can't wait
Ric Flair, man.
I can't wait to see someone drop a punch and then woo! A four horseman apocalypse thumbs up. Bill Schulz, where can I find you besides an alley in Lower East Side?
I'll be there in about 20. As for the show, Kevin's actually going to be on Wednesday. Morning with Bill Schulz and Joanne Nosachinsky on compoundmedia.com. Subscribe. Anthony Cumia, formerly of Opie and Anthony, runs the joint. Lots of great programming. Ours, of course, is the best. We have a YouTube channel as well where you can see a prior show where we reenact movies and, wait for it, make them better. And you can see the lovely and talented Joanne Nosachinsky wear this very jersey while I wear What Are You Looking at, Dick Nose?
Yes.
That Kevin gave me. And we reenact the big reveal wolf scene between Michael J. Fox and Styles in the movie, and it is better. So you can watch that, and other than that, I'll be in the alley. And I'm not saying what I do for heroin, but dealer's choice.
Listen, that taint has more track marks on it than the B&W Railroad. That's for sure.
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. Notes. Watching Michael J. Fox shoot foul shots today would be deemed cruel and unusual punishment. Only one black guy on both basketball teams. This movie is already pure bullshit.
Yeah. I honestly thought they shot in Vancouver for that reason.
Yeah. By the way, it was supposed to take place in Nebraska. They're going down the street on the wolf surfing scene. There's a Jack in the Box. You go, I don't think there's Jack in the Box in Nebraska. Gotcha, bitch.
They're supposed to be in Nebraska.
It is, and if you look closely in the kitchen, you see a Nebraska Cornhusker football calendar. And I read it somewhere else that was supposed to take place in Nebraska, but no one knows and gives a shit for that matter.
If they shot it in Vancouver, the Dragons would have won.
Why does Michael J. Fox's wolf growl sound more like someone's stomach rumbling?
Yeah.
By the way, that was the director who made those sounds because he joked, I didn't get paid for those. Chubbs appears in two other insanely memorable roles. Want to take a guess what they are?
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Big Adventure, close.
Pee-wee.
And?
Sorry.
And?
Teen Wolf 2.
No, memorable, I said.
I don't know.
I'll tell you, I'm just going to give you the line because it's the line that everyone quotes all the time. Ready? Look, it's Enrico Palazzo.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Naked Gun?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh my God. How did he go from those huge movies to a cameo?
I don't give a shit, but that's one of the top 10 cameos I've ever seen.
Oh, it's amazing.
Scott Howard has a chest hair that's longer than Pete Davidson's cock, but it sprouts so fast that he doesn't recognize that. That doesn't happen.
Where does the hair go? And then when he comes back, does it just go into his skin?
Yeah.
I wanted that explained.
Boof is a great nickname for 1985, but boofing in 2022, completely different meaning. For those who don't know boofing is where the kids soak tampons in vodka or other alcohol and then shove it directly up their asshole to get bombed faster. Or as Bill calls that, taking a cigarette break at the morning show.
I don't put it in my asshole.
Ready for this? I do. Ready for this? Boof looks like a poor man's Phoebe Cates.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Mm-hmm. So the kid in the hardware store blows the dog whistles that Michael J. Fox can hear it, but his dad has no reaction? Hello? Consistency department, line 1, please.
Yeah.
Give me a keg of beer. Do you ever notice in movies whenever someone asks for a beer, no one ever has a response? My best friend Terry Loda from home would say, what flavor? Ask for a beer. What beer? What kind of beer? What flavor? That's always works me.
Yeah.
It's hilarious that Scott has Jedi mind tricked the old liquor store guy by just simply changing his voice.
His eyes got red.
His eyes go red.
I saw that, but really, is that all that? Okay.
Yeah, he could have just.
I would love to pinpoint what film started the wearing sunglasses while driving at night trope. I don't think it was this one. I'm too lazy to do research. Or can we all just blame that goddamn Corey Hart?
Another Canadian.
Yeah. Stylish shirts are on fucking point, fellas. He is not as funny as Stifler in American Pie or Booger in Revenge of the Nerds, but I love, love, love how he's a walking Spencer's Gifts catalog.
Yeah. There really is no other character quite like him in the pantheon of 80s party movies.
But you know what? He doesn't have that many memorable lines. But you're not quoting Styles like you're quoting Booger or Stifler.
Yeah, it's his overall sort of stylesness that
he's almost there. It's like you're waving him home for the triple, and he gets thrown out going to third.
But it's like little things, like everyone's going wolf, 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 and they pan to him, and the classic '80s thing where the glasses are like this,
cocked down in the bridge of your nose.
And he's going wolf, wolf, wolf.
Yeah.
Like he makes it his own.
Yeah. Now, a ton of people at this party are also wearing sunglasses inside. Were they trying to hide their bloodshot, coked out, or marijuana-induced eyes? What a party! But yeah, you're right. He was one hell of an MC. I've never been to a house party where it had that many themes, and I was in a fraternity, for Christ's sakes.
I was gonna say, I mean, if they were happening in my high school, I was not invited.
Yeah. Well, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I was wearing this in high school too, so that might have been part of it.
I learned that if you're at a party, it's okay to dump Jello down random girls' shirts and then eat it out of there. That's cool. Yeah. Michael J. Fox mid-transformation looks like Eric Stoltz in The Mask.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All these years that Scott's dad never showed the wolf by accident, didn't come home drunk, show the wolf, didn't get pissed at his neighbor that the tree was growing into his yard and go full wolf, no, didn't get mad at his wife, I guess, who died. Did she die or was it a divorce? I forgot. I didn't catch it.
She died.
Yes. Wasn't he? He's never mad that his wife gave him a mediocre blowjob at his birthday and didn't go full wolf. Scott never saw his dad just wolf. No, I'm not buying that. As we've said, Styles rocking out one of the best T-shirts in film history. Not up for debate.
Oh, yeah.
Scott's wolf transformation sounds like a motorcycle idling now. Let's talk about Scott's dad. I love when he played basketball with Booth, playing the lily whitest version of hoops. Him in work clothes and her in her pink country club sweater.
Doesn't he underhand it?
Yeah.
I almost feel like, yeah.
During the second basketball game, the refs have obviously forgotten the rules because Scott Howard commits backcourt. He's dribbling in the opponent's court for more than 10 seconds. The sports in me had a.
He only knows the foul rules.
And yeah. By the way, he's taking jump shots at the end. You can't leave your feet when taking a foul shot. How do I know that? My brother did that and got whistled for leaving his feet while taking a foul shot. I like how Scott stopped to break dance with one of the 4 black guys in the film, a true man of the people. The principal looks like a little like Donald. The principal looks like a little like Donald Trump. A little bit.
Yeah.
Styles, I would love to see the Where Are They Now. Styles probably grew up to either sell knives door to door or kidnapping young girls and selling them to Saudi princes.
Again, yeah, I think he's actually a huge success, but it's probably something shady, borderline illegal.
Let's talk about the villain in this film. Pamela! She is a social climber that would slip down a rung a few times in life. She's high school hot, but mediocre when she goes away to college. And I'll wager after her 3rd divorce, she would start an OnlyFans page at 63 years old. But
high school hot or like Real Housewives?
High school
because
hot.
That's how old she looked. Yeah.
This woman is a true sociopath. She is worse than Allie in Karate Kid, Elizabeth Shue's character. She openly cucks out Mick at the bowling alley and the final game. And Mick the dildo just stands there and takes it from this high school girl. I mean, she tries to get Scott, and she also tries to get Scott killed by goading Mick countless times. This woman is a goddamn maniac. But no, he's the bad guy? Bullshit. He's just a dumb moron who gets, like I said, cucked out. Yuck. This whole car surfing business is just pure white people fuckery. Here's something my friends and I had never wanted to do. Give me a break. We did mailbox baseball. We've had sex with women that have questionable morals at best. And we've done countless of times my favorite, leaving quote-unquote positive STD results on friends' parents' answering machines. But no, never dancing on a moving car to shitty music.
It's a Midwest thing. We do this. The car surfing thing. I mean, it's boring. And by the way, it's very flat, so you don't have to worry about hills, that kind of thing. You know.
Yeah, well, you grew up in the Midwest where the White Sox suck, so you have to avoid boredom the entire time. You try and kill yourselves and avoid the inevitable, slow. Instead of the slow pain of death taking you, you get the quick one and getting hopefully run over.
Our new manager, we're going to be the Beavers of MLB this year. Mark my words.
So Scott tears off Boof's shirt while doing heavy petting and making out. But Pamela does not look like she was attacked by a great white shark when he fucks her as the wolf. Nothing, not a scratch.
Yeah.
Give me that consistency department back on line 1. Stat. People aren't paying attention. I am. At this time, I'd like to ask my friend Bill Schulz to indulge us in a spirited rendition of the wolf dance, if you'd please.
I've told Kevin this before. Yeah. This jersey, and unfortunately it has to be in summer, but this jersey brings people so much joy. Let it wash over you one more time, ladies and gentlemen. I walked by a construction site, I shit you not, on the way to work when Joanne and I were going to do our Teen Wolf rendition, and 2, maybe more construction guys saw it and started doing the wolf dance while I was wearing the jersey. It was one of the greatest moments of my life. That's awesome. I get stopped all the time. It brings people joy.
Mick comes out like a hockey goon and spears Scott's teammate who looks like Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Thank God we did not hear that Jesse Eisenberg clone through a typical Jesse Eisenberg autistic rambling dialogue in every one of his films.
Did you ever see the bench? All of them are like 6'4" on the Beavers.
Yeah.
They're all like 10 times better looking athletes than anything that's on the floor. And that could have been made for a good joke, but it wasn't. It was just like these were extras. But they're all like actual basketball players.
I absolutely love the hell. I absolutely love the hell out of the song in the final game, Win in the End. That is a mainstay on my phone in 80s playlist.
That's a banger.
It is a banger.
It's who is the singer the original? Because you can't get it on Apple Music, but there's a cover of it that's really good by these guys, Ink's No Issue, and they do like a perfect cover of Win in the End.
I love that. I swear I'm downloading that the minute we're done. I love that. It's great.
One of the most frozen scenes in film history is Phoebe Cates coming out of the pool in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. One of the most frozen scenes in Bill Schultz's house is the extra whipping his dick out at the end of the game.
And that is an urban myth. It has been disproven on a radio show. Name escapes me, but they found it. It's actually a woman. See, the mind sees what it wants to see. And in Kevin's case, it was a dick. But that was a woman who was wearing too tight jeans. And in fairness, it was blurry in the background. So the way that she'd taken her jeans off because they were too tight. And as one does in the 80s, she wore a belt with these too tight jeans. And so she was just sort of sitting there, not raw dogging it, unfortunately. And then when they had to come up and cheer, she's like, oh, shit, and immediately just put her sweater over.
Wrong. No, the answer to the story is this, because I was told this by one of our other guests who did Casino Royale. The director was such an asshole. Everybody hated him on set, hated him. So what the woman did, it is a woman, but is a fake dick she whips out. It is a dildo that she brought.
Oh, I didn't hear the fake dick part.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So
but by the way, did you guys ever get the other urban myth?
What's that?
The other urban myth, and obviously you already disproved it, was that Spud Webb was the stunt double for Scott Howard in the wolf suit.
It was a white guy from Loyola Marymount. No.
Yeah. But as kids, we all thought it was Spud Webb. That was the rumor going around.
Oh, what happened? Muggsy Bogues didn't want to make the urban myth as well.
Muggsy Bogues is like 5'3". That would have made more sense.
I didn't know that. I know this film is not good, and it is very flawed. The basketball coach is Flintstock? One of the best characters. He's the best character in this film by a goddamn country mile.
He's awesome.
Scott doesn't do anything cool except breakdance, van surf, and get his fuck on as a wolf. Well, I'll take that back. Those 3 things are pretty cool. But he doesn't do anything cool as a wolf. Are you kidding me? No tendencies, no bloodlust, nothing. I still dig this film, but it does not pass the remote test unless it's the final basketball scene. I give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's pure. It's not good. I know that. I am not going to die on the hill like I would for like a Big Trouble in Little China type. This is not good, but I know that. I still find it quasi enjoyable. If you have not seen the sequel, avoid it like Caddyshack 2, because it is worse than bathing in the Ganges River with open wounds.
You never thought you'd be in the same room as both Teen Wolves, did you?
That's a hell of a story. I'm so glad you brought that up. Critics 5-star reviews. As the unfortunate teenager, the ever-engaging Michael J. Fox is doing what he does best, turning a loser into a winner.
Yeah.
It's often ridiculous and filled with 80s cheese, but Teen Wolf does harbor some poignant coming-of-age metaphors and decent helping of intentional and unintentional comedy. Here's someone you're going to hate. Michael J. Fox's early lycanthrope comedy. Do we have to say lycanthrope just because I don't want to say a werewolf? Eat shit.
Nosferatu for vampires.
Yeah. Doesn't have the easy charm of his later films, actually, as the Back to the Future franchise or Doc Hollywood. Never saw that. But it's still a diverting enough tale. Is it good?
Yeah, good. Great nude scene for a PG-13.
Perhaps the nicest werewolf movie ever made, and how could it not be when it stars Sweetie Pie Michael J. Fox? Okay. Critics. He is a sweetie pie. Everyone says he's super duper nice. Critics 1-star reviews. Fox is enormously likable here, but the gimmickry of the werewolf transformation in Fox's lupine existence is just that. A gimmick, wholly artificial contrivance that intrudes on the character. What a windbag asshole who wrote that. He sounds as much as enjoyable as 2 flat tires in Kansas with no one around.
If you use contrivance in a review of Teen Wolf, you don't get it.
How about
you're not allowed?
How about lupine existence? We're gonna skate over that too, fellas.
Yeah, that's true.
Fox somehow survives on the sheer force of a pleasant screen presence, but those who remember the shaggy dog ought to stay away. We're gonna bring that in this conversation.
Like the field goal kicking mule would be more accurate that Disney did.
The idea that being a werewolf is something to certain teens have to live to learn with is like acne is a pretty novel concept to begin with. The problem, though, is that Teen Wolf does not know where to go from there. Pretty rudderless, I would agree.
Yeah.
The movie plods toward a predictable ending and misses all sorts of chances to be funny. Although I will say, with sports endings, this is one of the best sports endings because it's not some miraculous horse shit like, someone sucks out runner in a poker scene, or the anemic kid hits a grand slam to win the game, or some bullshit like that. Like, he hits 2 foul shots and wins. Pretty achievable. It's
a nice bookend to the beginning when he misses both of those shots.
Right.
Yeah. You don't have a problem with the ending of the movie.
It's either 95 minutes that really are a problem. Amazon 5-star reviews. This is a good quality family film with only one concern for moral issues with a partial nude, but the quality is great. It looks grainy as shit. Watching this now, I realize how poorly most older films were made. However, the guy's open fly at the end of the championship game scene was one of those eras that had my brother and I laughing again and again.
There it is.
Overall, I would recommend watching this film while getting blitzed on White Claw. You can order it on Amazon. Signed Sergeant Slaughter? No.
Or White Claw Corporate.
Here's Kevin Israel as one of his favorites. Should be cheaper than $3.99. I mean, it's 30 years old. So by this logic, does that mean like Gone with the Wind should cost you a nickel to rent?
Maybe that was the play they were doing.
Yeah, I thought that too, actually.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I watched Gone with the Wind once for this podcast, and guess what? It stinks.
I've never seen it. I don't want to.
Don't rush. Oh, John Fugelsang made us sit through that one.
Ugh.
I grew up watching Michael J. Fox. This is back when they knew how to make a good movie. Good movies don't need a lot of foul language, naked bodies, and sex exploration. Then they'll hate. Then they'll hate Sleepaway Camp. What's the other Phoebe Case film where she's not naked in this, but it's everyone else is? It's a Private School. Holy shit!
Technically, you could say Gremlins. None of them wore clothes.
Fair. or Drop Dead Fred. This is one of my all-time favorites. It's clean and cute, but I am old school. Is it clean? Is it?
No!
Clean? It is not clean. Especially with Chubbs taking advances with the ladies.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, Chubbs was just a predator.
Wasn't he?
Is that a Cosby?
He didn't dose her though. He just, I guess, Jello was her aphrodisiac.
The Jello, yeah.
Actually, the Jello was kind of dosing Chubbs when you think about it.
Yeah. It had fentanyl in it, and she absorbed it through her skin, and he just ate that shit.
He didn't care about the tits. He was just trying to get to the Jello.
Amazon 1-star reviews. This guy nails it. Fox is too short. Tries to use a jump shot on a free throw. His form looks pretty bad, let alone he was shooting a jump shot from the stripe rather than shoot LOL, LOL. His teammates don't belong in basketball either. They're kind of out of shape to play, especially the fat guy. But it still comes back to using a jump shot to make a free throw? Ha ha ha. Does he not have the strength to just shoot the free throw without jumping? Sorry, people, but when I see stuff like this in movies, it always has me thinking why. Like Tom Cruise, who plays catch with his son in War of the Worlds. It's obvious Tom Cruise has never thrown a baseball in his life. Why set it up another way rather than making them look dumb? That is so true. And I'll throw this one out there too. Love both of these films. Love one of them to death, Bill Schulz. You know I both love this. And that's Point Break. Keanu Reeves can't throw a fucking football for his life.
Yeah. Danny McBride in Eastbound and Down was the worst throw I've ever seen in my life.
I've never watched that, but I will take it.
Hilarious show.
Is
It's
it?
great.
I'll get to it. Last one. Awful movie. Remember it from the 80s, but never saw it. Finally watched it with the family the other night. Wow, so bad. One of the worst 80s movies. Dumb story, parentheses, apparently becoming a werewolf makes you a great basketball player. Go figure. Oh, and no interest in killing people or satisfying your thirst? This film has not aged well. I saw it back in the 80s and must have looked back with thick rose-tinted specs. It's an overly simplistic plot. The quality of the film / cinematography is poor / amateur. Worst of all, the choice of the terrible music they used, very bizarre. Bloodlust? Nope. You just want to play hoops. Groan.
I
love the music. I love the music in this.
Yeah, me too.
The din 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 din. The kind of cueing him up for the rope. It works. Bill Schulz, did our new friend Tyler Morrison gut the sacred cow?
I have to say, even though it has not overly made me rethink a lot of the elements of the movie that I find so beloved, he did a wonderful job, and he did gut it. I will say, though, Mick wasn't perfect. Let's also remember that it's either trash talking or perhaps a fact. He did tell Scott that he shot his mom when he caught her stealing hens in a hen house. Now, either that's a fact, and Scott Howard does nothing about the fact that this is the murderer of his mom, or he is up to the game to such a degree that it's not, I fucked your mom, I straight up murdered your dead mom.
Larry Bird type trash talk.
That is as good trash talking as you're gonna get, ladies and gentlemen. Killed her. Your dead mom. I'm the one that did it, and I am free.
I mean, and then he goes out and he bangs her out as the wolf in the dressing room. He just should have come back with her broad hand and kind of like whistling, twirling it. Hilarious.
Yeah, he didn't do enough after that kind of trash talk. Good 100%.
Lord. Guys, this has been a goddamn blast. Tyler Morrison, thank you for joining us. I enjoyed hanging out with you, sir. Bill Schulz, you're mediocre at best, but I'll see you Wednesday. The Beaver Shirt. Check out Bill, of course, Bill and Joanne in the morning show, my two favorite people in the world to do their show. Tyler Morrison, check out, Fight Stories, right?
Fight Stories. It's on YouTube and everywhere you can get your podcasts. So.
Brilliant. KevinGoatee.com for dates and whatnot. Guttingthesacredcow.com and guttingthesacredcow@gmail.com. Thanks again, folks. We love that you love this podcast and keep telling your friends and family about us. We love you all. Thanks again. Avita Zen.